Let's get into the stock market analysis. We're going to look at SPY cycle analysis projections. I'm going to break it down for you, and then we'll look at the market condition monitor, our fabulous app that really helps you understand the conditions in multiple time frames, just depending on what time frames you look at, what style of trader you are. There's something there for all styles, so I'll show you that. So let's take a look now as we switch over. Well, I'll show you the MCM in a couple minutes. Let's switch over to the charts right over there, and this is SPY weekly on the left, SPY daily on the right. And let's blow this up right over here. So the first thing we're going to look at right over here is the weekly chart. Now, there's a lot of lines on here, and some people write to me and say that, well, they can't even make out the charts because there's so much on here. But if you become well attuned to the work that we do, you will understand what I'm presenting here. I want to make sure that, a lot of people watch just this clip or they scroll forward to get to the stock market analysis. Do watch the special piece that I did on Bitcoin because that teaches cycle analysis there, and I think that's very important. And also the cycle analysis workshop piece that I showed. Put that all together and you have a great opportunity. Also, I'm going to only show you SPY right now, so you can watch everything that we do on the futures and indexes, the full index analysis on the SPX, NASDAQ, NDX, RUT, plus bonds, metals, cryptos, foods, currencies, all of that very available to you in FutureSpeak on Wednesday. Avi does an absolutely masterful job looking at all of those for members level 2, 3, and 4. All right, let's get into this analysis. Enough of the sales pitch. Here's what we have here, what we're looking at. On the bottom, cycle brackets, which tell us the money flows, timing, the important structures that we're going to look for, and the messaging from the way these charts form, how they act around specific support resistance. And we use we get help from our reversal scout that you see right over here on the weekly chart. This blue line, the 34-week moving average, which often the cyclical patterns move down to or up towards. You can see in here where this upturn came right over here. That was where these troughs all bottomed right there after not quite a 10% corrective period in here. I was projecting that the market would not make it to a new high because this cycle right in here made a lower low. That lowers the probability, probably makes it about 70% probability you would not make a new high, 30% that it would. Well, you can see the 30% played out, and you can see as this reversal scout turned up and the magnitude of the upside advance really accelerated. Once you got past this all-time high there, the breakout, it really moved up. And now into these areas of this 100% monthly fib extension and some other fib extensions right over here. So that's a 754 up here, somewhere around there, which is a possibility. This monthly right over there is at around 747, where it got just slightly through but has been pulling back. So where are we right now? Well, we are in this rising phase on 3 different cycles that you can see going up. That gives you that strong upward push right there. And then you have the likelihood that this is a broadening pattern that is going to call for some kind of a peak made in here and then a corrective force. So in the beginning of the year when I had done my analysis, I talked about a period into March that would likely be moving down, a period into June that would likely be moving down, and then another one over here into August that would likely be moving to the downside. We see that right now as the market is stalling, but we don't see any downside here yet, as that is the likelihood that I was looking at. So that's why I have this slight downside vector right over there pointing to some likelihood that the market would be moving to the downside. Now, let's talk more about this analysis because it's really important. This decline right over here, I'm not looking for a huge pullback. It's getting late in this pattern over here, and when I show you the daily charts, you'll see how that sets up. This pattern right over here is strong. and it's getting late in this minor cycle, as you can see. So that only leaves a little time for pulling back, and this does point out into this June time frame for a pullback. The next important thing to look at is this right over here. We're coming up to a rare historic period. In modern history, there's only two parallels, and that is, number one, midterm elections, which almost always bring some significant downside action. I think there's one time in midterm elections in the last 10 when the market actually survived that. And the new Fed chair. So we have those two things together at the same time. That is significant. When did that happen? Well, in 1970, McChesney was, and he was the Fed chair, and he handed it off to Arthur Burns. That was the time when we saw the 1970 bear market. 1978 was another time when we had that parallel. In other words, both the midterm elections and the new Fed chair. And that year was the crash of 78. That was actually my very first massively profitable trading year for when the crash of 78 came. So that was a very good year for me because the market moved, and you could see these parallels in here. Now, when you look at that, I'm just going to move it out of the way. When I did my year-end review, I talked about this decline in June, and the way this really lines up is that at some point after June, it will try to rally again, it will peak somewhere in here, and then you get some kind of downside action in here. That could be a pretty serious correction into that August to September period. So that's the way that aligns, and of course, with what we just said about the historic movements in these years and that parallel, I think that's a very important thing to be considering. So that is the historic setup that we see right now, and the weekly analysis. This is quite strong. It probably says this correction into June is going to be on the shallow side. Not 100% sure. It could come down to the support here at 703. I mean, that's reasonable. It's not that big of a drop. It would be something like 4.5–5%. Not much when you look at that. So that's where the strength is. When I look at the daily chart, and this is very important, this is an extremely telling chart and very strong. So on the weekly chart, if you see that upward momentum very clear on the reversal scout and it pushing up, what you see here on the daily chart are the formations of the cyclical patterns, which are very strong. This is a right-hand translation. What does that mean? Well, this cycle right over here just gave you a rectangle, tiny little rectangle consolidation, because this downward corrective period just could not fight against this strong upward momentum. Note the slim ribbon support right over there. When the slim ribbon is in positive mode, all of these things are green, as you can see. They're open or closed for the candlesticks, but they're green. When it's in negative resistance and the slim ribbon providing that, then they're in red, and you can see that right there. Here's where the option bias indicator tells you how to bias your positions. Here it was negative. There was a bottom warning right there on the button where that turned orange. And here you saw one little top warning came right in here, and then this right over here. All they brought you were these tiny little corrections. So you could see the setup here. This is a bullish right-hand translation. This is a bullish right-hand translation. Riding the upward slim ribbon right over here. Our reversal scout, which turned up here, had no downtick in this little correction area. All of that momentum strong. I'll show you the MCM, the market condition monitor, and it reflects this. You have out-of-phase cycles in here because this is the longer cycle that's on the Russell. This is the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. And you can see right over here where this came into play right there. And that doesn't belong there. Let me just get that line out of there. And then this next period out over here into mid-June, and that's where I'm talking about that weekly correction, is where you get the Russell coming down, the S&P and the NASDAQ all coming down, and that's pretty likely to get you a rally in here that fails. This right over here is the support of that cycle. I didn't put a label in there yet, but that's at around 732. If you see the SPY down below 732, it's going to be a pretty significant warning. That might mean that it aborts this upside positive phase, and then we're going into this corrective period, which is going to head down into some support area. That 703 level that we talked about on the weekly chart is right over there. So this is an important period for short-term traders, especially because intermediate or longer term traders, you're probably not going to adjust positions when you have this kind of a setup, and then the likelihood that after this correction it's going to be moving up again. That's not where, the longer position traders or investors are going to adjust under those conditions. But short-term traders, this is certainly an opportunity that you see right in here. If it gets under this area around 732, that's going to be the warning that we're in this correction here that aligns for the weekly and the daily pattern. So very important, again, understand the cycle analysis. Go watch the Bitcoin analysis I did earlier in the show. I'll probably post that as a standalone also on YouTube in the next few days. So you'll be able to watch it there and take advantage of our cycle analysis workshop that we showed this week. Just a great opportunity to learn our style of analysis. So again, as you can see, looking at the side-by-side in here, a corrective period due out over here, which could be shallow, reasonable to be somewhere around 5%. The same alignment right over here, which says very likely to see the decline coming out into that time frame. Right now, we have no indication of that whatsoever. We have only bullish readings of everything we're looking in here. So I'm anticipating giving you the analysis of what the cyclical patterns and the normal money flows and rhythms are telling me. So I'm telling you, get the radar on, look for a little more upside right now, maybe even testing 750 or a little higher before we get into this declining period. And then after that, look for this 732 area to give you a signal that the market is ready to go into this corrective period. And for short-term traders, that could be an opportunity. That is a look at my analysis for today on the stock market. Let's switch over now and look at the MCM, the Market Condition Monitor, our just fabulous application that you can get a good sense for market condition based on the time frame that you trade. Right now, this is now intermediate. So this is the a Market Condition Monitor, the MCM. This is included in the level 3 and level 4 memberships. The only difference is that the level 4 membership includes the intraday. The level 3 membership does not. And of course, always look at if you're a person that cares about the intraday, make sure you find out about our day trader service. It's absolutely fabulous. So let's take a look here. And this is the 4 indexes right there. And you can see on the intermediate pattern, that's the what we're looking at right there. Intermediate right there is what we're set up. What we have are conditions that are very bullish except for the NASDAQ. I'm sorry, the Russell. The Russell has downticked now to neutral. Now, the Russell patterns, which you can see in the FutureSpeak show, or if you remember, of course, you get those charts, you can see that the Russell is overall setting up in a weaker structure. And that's probably leading the way for this corrective period that we see. So there was a little bit of a downtick here from very bullish to bullish in the Dow. It's a slight weakening that we're seeing right there. Let's look now at the short term. And we'll see that the short term, well, we have similar reads right there as we see the Dow is on the bottom is just slightly bullish. And we have neutral in the Russell. And of course, the SPY and the QQQ are very bullish. So that's for the short term. Now, if you were, kind of a 2-day, 3-day, 4-day swing trader, you'd be using the near term right over there. And you can see the near term right over here is not giving you a lot right there because the market has started to move sideways. So indications of a near-term upside rally that the cyclical patterns are suggesting, well, we're not seeing that right over here on the indicator. So here's the short term. Now let's look at the short-term conditions for the individual stocks. There's hundreds of stocks in here in ETFs. And we'll just look here for the ones that are very bullish on the short term, because this is a good overlap for people that are swing traders or longer term traders. It's kind of right in the middle time frame. And you can see in here as I move down the ones that are giving you very bullish indications. Of course, Micron, which has exploded, ASML, the semiconductor indicator, all of those extremely strong as I move down. And you can see the ones in here that are very bullish as I click down through here. And it's extremely valuable. And those are the ones that were very bullish. And if I click on trade setup condition again and look at the ones that are very bearish, and you can see right there that Expedia, very bearish, Pepsi, Lowe's, a lot of retailers are not looking specifically great. Maybe Walmart, of course, has been a different case. Carvana, Comcast, McKesson, those are all very bearish when you look at that. Now remember, it says very bearish in the short term. That means the setup is that if you want to buy these, well, you're probably premature. And if you were a short side trader, well, you probably want to execute on that when they give you an entry. That would mean that, you know, somewhere in a rebound and resistance is where you'd want to enter on the short side on these. So it's Avi does a fantastic job of teaching that. And when you look at his trade ideas and the record that he has in trade ideas, it's mind-boggling how good that is. So he's very good at finding those entry zones, and he teaches you that in the trade ideas for members. So make sure that you look at that possibility. Ask Slim AI about trade ideas. Okay, so here is more of the very bearish ones that we're looking at. And that's everything I'm going to show you there. So again, market condition monitor for our members, level 3 and 4. All right, that's it. Make sure that you check out our website. If you're brand new, get acquainted, sign up for the Snapshot Lite. That's free information on the S&P 500 every day, no credit card necessary. That's how you really start to learn what we do. On YouTube, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and like this video. Give it a thumbs up. Follow me at askSlim. Any questions you have, write to Matt at askSlim.com.